Hello and welcome to yet another episode presented by Deso Systems in association with Economic Times Digital Transformation Dialogue in tune with digital evolution. In today's episode, we will be in conversation with Sanjay Chakravarti, CIO, L&T Defence at the company's Talegaon facility, where Mr. Chakravarti will give us a 360-degree view of technology and its penetration in the defence sector in general and L&T Defence in particular.
Hello Meghna, welcome to Talegaon.
Thank you, it's a lovely facility. Thank
Yeah,
you.
please. So this is one of our most beautiful campuses that we have for defense production in the country. And this was actually built about say 12, 13 years back, and this has been instrumental to various programs that we have done for the nation in terms of what we have contributed in defense production. So welcome to the campus.
Thank you. And it is actually rare to enter defense space. And when we are talking about defense, so L&T is the pioneer when it comes to catering to Indian defense. What has been the evolution like?
So you see, Larsen & Toubro, by its very inherent nature, has been a technology organization. We've been an engineering conglomerate all along, and defense offers a a plethora of opportunities, I would say, to sort of marvel, grow, innovate in the technology domain. Of course, we've been working under the shadows of, say, DRDO in our initial days when we started this whole journey about 3.5, 4 decades back. So it's been a long way since then, and we have contributed significantly in terms of growing technology, both in-house and in partnership. So that's how it is. And today, if you look at our offerings, we are, how do I put this? We are in the entire space from, say, deep sea to the deep outer space that we are into. We have multiple offerings to various strategic arms of the nation. And you know, our guiding motto has been that, well, if somebody in the world has done it, let's do it. This is how we started the day. And today, the way we feel, the way the leadership sort of conveys messages to us, if nobody in the world has done it, why don't we do it? So that's been our journey for the nation building. So this is how it is. Anyway, let me show you our facility. This is our main atrium that we have here.
And now if I could ask you about the factors that have contributed to the success, would you be able to elaborate more on that?
So, like I said, we had a strong leverage of engineering. And when I say engineering, I mean a lot of design that goes into it. And we of course, we did very high-end design analytics and things like that in the early on days. But our focus has always been that we focus on the basic concepts of science and then use sort of these high-end tools that are there to convert this into things which can then be produced. So that's been a focus on details, from the basic engineering to the detail engineering. That's been our focus, largely to sort of innovate an idea. That's been the thing. So that was what was actually talking about the technology part.
And since we are at it, I would also like to ask you about the role of digitalization in terms of contribution to the success of L&T and helping in maintain the market leader position.
In fact, I would say that the whole aspect of digitalization, we call it digitalization there now. Of course, we didn't have this word then. We started this whole journey in the early 90s. And in the first thing that we did is we moved away from our conventional, say, two-dimensional drafting to 3D based design. And that's how we would do, because it would give us the overall aspects of holistic view about the models that we do, and the aspects of, say, maintainability, operability, manufacturability. So these would be much clearer. So that clearly gave us an edge amongst our peers that we had that point in time. Taking it forward, we also got into the product life management. In fact, these were, in those days, these were the products which were offered by Dassault Systems, and we had bought the Scutia, which is the 3-dimensional design tool, and followed by the product life management platform that they had, which gave us a whole perspective about how should we go about sort of keeping the data, how do we go about maintaining the entire, say, the engineering database for the life cycle of the program. So that's how the whole thing came up. So that clearly gave us a early start on edge, the products that we actually got from
So
the
it
sort
will
to
be
start with.
correct to say that Dassault Systems actually leveraged you to that position.
To a large extent, because they were the ones who were offering that, and since we could use that, and that connected well with our uh, basically zest for getting into innovative different ways of doing things, which gave us faster, better, and I would say first time right aspects of doing things, and we could actually do a lot of things predictably in our engineering offices rather than going through the turmoil on the shop floor. So that clearly gave us a lot of edge. The digitalization early on uh, clearly gave us an edge. So that's how it has been.
Since we are talking about Dassault System and L&T Defence, you have been in partnership with them for over a decade. What has been the partnership like, if you could walk us through that?
So yes, I think that's an interesting question. When we started off in the 90s, it was more of trying to explore the product that they had to offer, which I mentioned, the CATIA platform for 3D modeling and the PLM. Eventually, over the years, as we saw value to these products, we have worked very closely with Dassault Systems in developing full-fledged quality management systems on that platform for some of our critical programs. And as I speak to you today, I think we enjoy not just Larsen & Toubro Defence, but also the other parts of L&T. We enjoy a very strategic relationship, a very strong bond of partnership with them, and they help us. They also sort of aid and guide and help us in scaling up scaling up our operations using their products. So it's been a very symbiotic. They win, we win, and it's been a win-win situation. And we really enjoy this partnership with Dassault.
And similarly, that L&T Defence has got Green Channel from the Indian Navy. How has that helped in terms of digitalization? How has that actually helped in maintaining that successful position for the company?
Yes. So together with these engineering products that we have from say the Dassault Systems, when you talk about green channel also means that your value chain has to be such that the it delivers a product which is highly reliable, and it obviates the necessity of the customer to really come in and check at every stage. So we, together with these products, they are of course the starting points. Together with these products, we have laid out our operations in a fashion that everything is literally digital in the workflow of operations that we have, and they are all recorded digitally. The track and trace, which is very vital to our kind of business, is ensured, and this is again done through digital means. So that gives a lot of credibility in our way of working, and that gives a lot of confidence, I guess, to the customer, saying that not only the product manufacture or the operations that we undertake at our premises are done to their satisfaction, but it's also the inherent stage-wise quality build-up that we do, which helps them get that confidence, which then takes the burden off their shoulders to really come and do it, and they can leave it to us. So that's how it is, and digitalization is a very significant dimension of getting into the green channel way of working.
And making the process more seamless.
Absolutely seamless, even paperless. So harnessing the digital technologies actually helps us in that way.
So L&T Defence has enjoyed a market leader position for a very long time. What does the future roadmap look like for the company?
So like I was saying earlier, we've been in this environment of defense production or defense engineering for about 4 decades now. We had a very humble beginning to start with, and of course, the driving force was technology, innovation, high end engineering. That said, I think from very small, say, systems, we went into construction of full-fledged platforms. When I mean platforms, I mean various defense products, if you may
Range
call
of
it in
products.
very broadly. So the systems got migrated from a tier 1 or a tier 2 supplier, we went into a full-fledged platform manufacturer, which gave us the position of what we today call as system of system integration. So that is where we are today. And then we've sort of taken our prowess of constructing the entire platform, designing the entire platform, sort of doing
Across value
technology
chains.
and across various things. So like we did various launching systems, various control systems, various firing systems. From that we went on to produce platforms, as I said, in one area, say it's for the Indian Army, and then we took that knowledge to platforms for, say, the Indian Navy or the Coast Guard. So we've been also been able to sort of grow technology or sort of clone technology from one domain to the other domain, and that is what has led us to our growth.
And any area which you think you're yet to explore?
I would say the space is one area which we are
Alright.
very bullish on, and that is one area that we are now that you may be aware that the space sector is now open to private industries big time, and we are pitching our bet quite strongly, and we hope we make ourselves big, because that is one dimension. And when I talk about the space sector, we are talking about an entire launch vehicle engineering to sort of getting it ready for the launch, which could be across all the three types of launch vehicles, which are PSLV, the GSLV, and SSLV. So that is one dimension that evaded us for some time, because it was with the government agencies, and now that it's open to public, that is one area where we are putting our money in, and
But
we
it
would.
also means competition, more competition in that area.
Yes, and the way we address competition is when, of course, technology, of course, comes in a very big way. Along with that, the way we run our operations, how we digitalize our operations, how we produce things faster, how we ensure the right kind of quality, how do we ensure the customer connect. I think all that goes into building the competency, because this is not a conventional commercial business that we are in. It's a very strategic business, and the management of Larsen & Toubro is very conscious about the nature of this business. It's a very sensitive business. It's full onto nation building. So it gives us a strategic leverage as an organization. So we are very conscious. So the dimensions of competitiveness is pretty much built around technology, imbibing digitalization, which is again a facet of technology, not just in the engineering dimensions, but also in our operations, in the way we even manage data. I mean, today I can tell you that the way the management goes about sort of going around reviewing is completely data driven, and we've come a long way since our earlier days of working through Excels and all that. We use various dashboarding tools so that our decisions are well informed. We are in that space of digitalization. Our systems generate a lot of data. We process the data, we do analytics out of it. And this is one dimension that we see ourselves growing in. So we have sectors identified. We always put the technology, you put the hand where the mouth is, and that's what actually propels us, and in terms of keeping us abreast with what the competition has to offer. And that's how we propel ourselves going forward.
So, what would be your message to the Indian strategic manufacturing industry?
It's a tall statement to give a message, but I'll just sum it up from my experience, the little experience that I have with Larsen and Toubro. I would say that the mantle lies on the Indian industry, the strategic industry, to actually take the nation forward. And in doing so, I think one has to be really innovative. We have to be, if we have to be ahead of where the world is today, which we clearly are not in many areas. I think we need to be focused inward in terms of being innovative, and then that's a culture that organizations should have. We must be able to harness the strengths of engineering and technology that the world has to offer, in terms of sort of constructing, designing, building these next gen platforms. Risks have to be, I think, identified, and we need not be risk averse, but certainly we need to have our risk mitigation policies in place. We need to look at our operations from the perspective of how fluid they are, how connected they are. This is the age of digitalization, and we have to harness the power of various digital tools that we have, not just in our office functions but also in our workshop. So it's all about how well we integrated the shop floor to the top floor. I think that is what takes us to the next level that we have. We shouldn't be giving up. We shouldn't be losing confidence. And I think if we are able to put the whole thing together, I think the pudding is cooked and it's for us to then eat it. That would be broadly my industry. So focus on innovation, focus on technology, harness technology, get into various kinds of digitalization, put all these things together in a very integrated, seamless manner, and then work with data so that we can get better from where we are. We have a benchmark of where we are today, and then we have a continual improvement of scaling new heights. I think that would be, this comes straight from my experience, and that is what I would share with my peer industries.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your insight, and thank you, Sanjay. And that's it from this episode. We were in conversation with Sanjay Chakravarti, CIO, L&T Defence. This was presented by Dassault Systems in association with Economic Times Digital Transformation Dialogue, in tune with digital evolution.